Hi, pile number one. Welcome back to the channel. All right, guys, you felt called to pick the Firecracker. So let's talk about what you can expect this month of July. Happy July. It's the first, okay? All right, so what I have for you, your astrological card coming out is the eighth house, the house of intimacy. All right, so definitely July is shaking up some things for you. Um, this month could call for you to really review and look at your finances, your investments, or what you're planning to invest in for the rest of the year. There's something about your goals. And have you been aligning to your goals? Have you been taking the corrective actions? Have you been investing, putting effort into what you want to make materialize in your life this year? You could be doing an audit or a full sweep of what I've been doing. What's my routine? What are my habits right now? What am I spending my time doing? So there's really this energy where you're reframing, what's your personal goals and what you've been doing, who you've been hanging around, what environments are you in? Do those environments and connections support where you're moving towards or what you're trying to create for yourself? So, investments, also, investments can be financial as well. There could be something that you're saving up for, something that you need to create some type of capital for. Maybe you also could be, trying to go to an institution, maybe get some loans or look about how can I restructure my credit, my finances to get a loan. All right, but investments, what you're investing your time in is going to be very important to you. It feels deeply personal, like the eighth house energy, okay? Also, July could be a very intense month for you with that eighth house. There could be some intense emotions that come to surface that maybe you could have been repressing. You could have intense happiness. Maybe there's going to be some days where you feel very sad. Maybe there's energies of you feeling very excitable or anxious. Okay, so definitely a very intense month for you. You also could be connecting with some very intense connections. Eighth house also talks about sex. So this could be a very sexy month for you. Maybe you're going to have a very intense sexual connection with someone. All right, your sex life could be heightened in some way. You could feel a very strong, sexual energy or desire within you. Eighth house is also about contracts. So you could be entering new soul contracts. New people could be coming into your life. People also could be walking out of your life that you are ending contracts with. You could be getting into some type of contract. That could be legally. That could be a job offer. That could be something to do with the banks, the institutions. Also, secrets. Secrets could be coming to surface. Things that were hidden in plain sight, things that maybe you were not paying attention to could be coming up. This could be family secrets, friendship secrets, secrets, in your daily life, maybe in your neighborhood. There's things that you could be discovering that could have always been around you, but now more than ever with that intense energy, it's like forcing you to pay attention to it. And then what you do from there is what you do. Okay. So lots of secrets coming out and also things that are very like mystery driven that you couldn't figure out, things that were gate kept from you could finally be revealed to you at this time. I also feel like in July you could have a very mysterious energy where a lot of people are drawn to you and people definitely want to know your business, but you could be really good at keeping that hidden. All right, so good for you. Also, in with that eighth house energy, it is an energy of obsession. So you could be finding some new obsessions, things that you really, overindulge in. You could have a new obsession with, maybe a new clothing brand, or you could have an obsession with a certain food that you just keep eating. Also could be in connections. People who are deeply infatuated with you could be coming towards you at this time. That could be an exciting energy or it could be a little weird. So, definitely a time in July to protect your energy. Make sure that you are doing any protective rituals that you know of to protect yourself, okay? Also, inheritance is a big one. There could be an inheritance coming towards you. If you don't receive this windfall in July, some type of events are happening, some type of chain reactions could be happening that are going to lead this inheritance into your hands eventually. Okay, so eighth house can talk about a lot of things, sometimes not so good things, like there could be, a death in the family, hopefully not. Or it could be good things, like maybe you are going to get some type of windfall through some type of investment, loan, bank system. So definitely something's in the works that's landing you to some type of windfall. Hopefully it's in a positive way, not a negative one. All right. And yes, also with that eighth house too, it does talk about like occult energy. So you could really be getting into some occult practices. Tarot is one of them, so it doesn't have to be spooky, scary, but you could be getting some deeper knowledge about occult, and maybe this is helping you to unlock some mysteries about your life path, even helping you, guide you through this next couple of months. So definitely look into that. You definitely will have maybe even a session with something that has to do with occult. That could be astrology, that could be tarot, that could be spell work. I don't know. But there's definitely some obsession that you could be getting because maybe something is unlocking for you. Something could be matching your frequency, something could be helping your vibrations, something could be helping you to manifest something. So there could be an obsession there as well. All right. Eighth house. Let's look at your tea leaf that came out. All right, so you have older man. So something is unlocking with an older man. I don't know what this is about. Maybe this is someone who could be giving you this inheritance. Maybe this is someone that you're entering some type of contract with. A secret could come out about an older man, maybe in your family or that's around you. So definitely look to some type of older man that could be significant in the month of July. All right. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. You have Firecracker. All right, guys. So I made the thumbnail for the pick a card last night on Sunday. And this is crazy that your cards came out for Firecracker. It definitely does give you some confirmation that you're going to have a lot of excitement this month of July. I feel like whoever picked pile number one, life could have been very dull and kind of mundane or boring. And I feel like you're about to have a very excitable energy in July. A lot of exciting things could be happening for you, unlocking for you. So definitely not a dull or bored moment in July for you, which could be exciting. That's interesting. All right, we have October. So there could be something significant that could be happening in October. I do feel this energy of chain reaction. So there could be a chain of events that are happening or are starting for you in July that could unlock something very big for you in October. There could be a waiting period. It's almost like there's a seed being planted in July, and October will be the month that you're able to reap the benefits or the reward. Okay, so that's special. You're starting something or you're investing in something seriously that you'll be able to partake in October. We also have Rose. All right, so this says romance is in the air. So you do have a very sexy romance coming in for you. Okay, I do feel like your sexual life is heightening with the eighth house. There could be a very mysterious person coming into your life, or the way that you and this person meet could be very mysterious and kind of like faded. All right, but you definitely have romance in the air here. So that's nice. So this will be a month of romance for you. And last but not least, we have February. What I feel about with the card February, there could have been some thoughts or some plans that you made in the month of February, because this is the month after January. And, in January, we make like our New Year's resolutions. We try to make these goals for ourselves, how we're going to change in the upcoming year. And it feels like maybe you didn't follow through with those goals. And it feels like in July, you're taking it more seriously. So you could be starting something that you planned or that you created some type of strategy behind in February. All right, so almost like a full circle moment for you. All right, also we have magnifying glass. Yes, secrets are coming to surface. Things that people thought that they could keep from you or hide or try to play very sly or coy around you, you're definitely going to be picking up on it. I also feel like if there was information that was gate kept from you, for some reason you weren't allowed access to know the information to move forward, you are getting that information in July, which could also be exciting for you because it gives you the clarity to move forward with your plans. This talks about getting more information, having a lot of clarity in the month of July, finding some very important details, doing more research. You may find some documents that maybe you overlooked. You are examining the fine print, which makes me think that you could be getting into some type of contract. Maybe you're getting a new car. Maybe you're starting a new lease somewhere. Maybe you're getting a loan and you're going to be very careful of examining what you're about to get into, okay? And even if this is like soul contracts, you're really taking your time. If anything feels too mysterious, you're taking your time before you commit to something. So even if there's a mysterious person coming into your life, you're not going to commit right off the bat, even if it's exciting and intense. You're going to take it slow and really try to see if this is the person for me, if this is the situation for me before investing or committing into it. And also, this is the energy of larger than life. So if your life has been feeling very mundane, things are about to start popping off for you, which is really good. We have fish. Fish is a card of abundance, okay? So this could be a very abundant month for you in July. You definitely will be able to see your resources better. Kind of reminds me of the magician card when you're trying to manifest something, but you feel like you lack what you need to manifest. And magician kind of tells you to look around and re-evaluate your surroundings because you actually have everything that you need to obtain what you're trying to do. And maybe that's how you felt in February, like I have this lack and I'm not where I need to be able to get this. In July, you really feel very powerful, especially with that eighth house energy, that Scorpio energy. You have this energy of infinite power where you feel like, you know what? I am where I need to be. I have everything that I need. I feel like I'm credible. Let me move forward, okay? It's energy with the fish of reviewing your finances, gearing up to expand your finances in a very abundant way. All right, really thinking about money and income and how you can be more prosperous and taking that seriously. All right, you could be multiplying your income. You could be having a large quantity or getting an influx or a windfall of some sort. You will be living very lavishly in July, which is exciting as well. You also could be visiting some bodies of water, which could be nice for you. And last but not least, we have squirrel. All right, so squirrel talks about being very energetic. All right, there's this motivation or drive or determination that you're having in July to help you to get things done, to get things started. Secretive energy. There's secretive people around you, but I also get this energy of you not wanting to let people in too closely. Because again, eighth house is very personal and intimate. So people really want to get into your business. They want to know everything about you. And you may be playing your cards in a way where you're coming off a little bit more high priestess energy, more reserved, okay? Playing hard to get. You're not easy access this month, which is good, all right? But also, if there are people or situations that have been very secretive around you, I definitely feel like you're going to be finding out the information that you need to know, whether it's information that may harm you or information just for you to make final decisions to close out certain chapters or contracts. You also could be saving a lot this month, which is really good. That lets me know that you could be getting a lot of generous offers, okay? And you're doing well with what you're making. So you can be saving or hoarding more than you're used to doing, which good for you. All right. There's the energy of, talking that talk. And so I don't know, someone has the gift of gab here. You may have a really good persuasive tongue. You could be really good in sales. If you work in the sales industry, you could be making big commissions this month, okay? There also could be people around you who have the gift of gab, and I don't see you falling for it. This could even be this romantic person coming towards you, this romantic partner. They're very mysterious. They could be very charming, but you're just taking it very slow, okay? You're not getting lost in the sauce, which is really good. You have this energy of being prepared for anything. There also could be some mishaps this month where there could be a little bit of miscommunication. Someone not saying what they need to say or translating it well, okay? So that could be revisited this month. Maybe someone who rubbed you the wrong way may actually come forth and try to communicate better. There also may be this energy of like you misread a situation, but maybe it's because I was being too secretive. Let me give you the full picture, okay? So someone here may come to you in July and say, hey, I think I rubbed you the wrong way. That wasn't my intention, but I also know that I was playing very coy. Let me tell you what's really going on, all right? Your cards for the month of July, you have the Empress here. Really nice. Love that, okay? We also have Chariot. And we have the 10 of Swords, okay? So there definitely is an ending. There's a significant ending happening for you. Something that you, now with the information that you're going to be gaining in the month of July, you can walk away feeling like you're not losing out, okay? There could have been something that you were attached to that was slowing you down, could have been distracting you or deterring you from moving forward, making progress. You had a fear of walking away from this situation, connection, because you did not know all the details. Something was very confusing, and you didn't want to walk away without knowing everything that you need to know to make that informed decision. I feel like you're finally going to get the information that you need, and you're not going to feel bad about walking away or quitting something cold turkey. So there could be a significant ending as there's new beginnings happening for you in July. But I feel like you're going to feel much better walking away because you're going to have closure, or you're not going to be walking away confused. All right. So we'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about this Empress energy. There's definitely a very fertile energy about you at this time. That could be, of course, with motherhood. So if you are feminine, you could just have a very fertile energy. There's also a big theme of sex. So, if you are ready for motherhood, then great. But if you're not, then just take the necessary precautions, because you're definitely way more fertile. Or even a person you're connecting to, their soldiers be marching. Okay. So I don't know. But also with the Empress, I feel like there's something that you could be investing in, putting effort in, that's going to quantify, multiply, and expand beyond what you thought. Okay, there's something here that's worth the effort, and you're going to see a lot of progress or growth with whatever that is. There's also energy of you being put on a pedestal. All right, so you could be very spoiled this month. There's something about living lavishly. You could be getting some gifts or just very generous offers this month in July. All right, tell me about the Empress. All right, we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, definitely energy of like stalker, spying, or obsession. All right, this is the card of jealousy in this deck. There's something that's growing for you abundantly, and there's people who are very jealous of that. So that also may be informing you to walk away from these connections. If you have friends or family or people around you that you're noticing they have this evil eye energy, or they're green with envy, you may start to pick up on that, where it could have always been this way, but you just were oblivious or aloof to it. It really wasn't, hitting your intuition before. In July, you won't be able to miss it, okay? You also have someone here who sees a lot of your progress. They're very inspired by that, but this person could be deeply infatuated with you, and there is the energy of possessiveness, okay? So you may see that this person could be a little clingy this month. This could be someone who you're in a romantic situation with. All right, we have the Nine of Wands here. It feels like right before you're about to give up on something, you get the information that you need to move forward and to have the progress that you are looking for. Something is finally sprouting for you or proving itself abundant. But with the Nine of Wands being here, feels like you were getting very tired of waiting. You could have been getting really tired of putting in the effort without seeing, any reward. And right when you're about to give up, something finally sparks. Especially too, those of you who are about to give up on love, maybe you feel like a hopeless romantic, you were dating and just weren't meeting the right people. Right when you're giving up on love and turning your sights onto something else, maybe just your personal goals, focusing on yourself, is when love is coming in. Okay, so something that you're about to give up on is about to happen for you. And it's very exciting, even though it could have been very exhausting waiting or being patient for this to reveal itself. We do have the Chariot, so definitely your finances are increasing this month of July. How you make your income could be multiplying. You could also be picking up a different stream of income, which could bring in more money to you. You also have a lot of career growth in July, okay? So there's a lot of progress that you're making here. Also, if you have any issues or problems or challenges that come towards you in July, you're going to find that you're able to move past them much easier than you were in the past. Maybe before you would hit a wall and then, all hell would break loose and you just kind of felt defeated. But this month, you're going to find that you're able to overcome things very, very easily. This could be financially. This could be maybe even situations that you had a hard time letting go of, you're going to see that you're able to move on and move forward. Okay, so Chariot. Let me see what's going on with the Chariot energy. All right, we have the Page of Pentacles. You definitely are learning something new here. All right, you could be learning something to help your money. You could be learning something to help your career. Something that you were having a hard time getting the wisdom or knowledge or experience in is finally unlocking for you. There could also be this energy of mentorship. There could be someone around you that you're connecting with in July who really puts things in perspective for you, whereas in the past, when you were asking for help, no one would help. So you are aligning with someone here who wants to see you grow, wants to see you establish well. But also, this could be like learning about your credit, learning how to save, learning how to establish, um, your business or yourself to receive a loan. All right. Learning something financially that you were having a hard time understanding, or it just was gate kept in the past. Okay. You're getting this information very generously. All right. So that's what I'm seeing. It unlocks a lot of momentum or forward movement for you. Some of you guys could have been very stubborn to learn something new. All right. So if there was like some type of training or schooling that was offered to you in the past, you could have been very stubborn to do that. And you're accepting the help now, or you're going to go through with it. You're getting accredited in something. It's going to help your career tremendously. So you could finally be biting the bullet and going for it. For some reason, you were very stubborn to do this in the past, but now in July, you're more open. And maybe because you just feel better, you feel happier. All right. Five of Swords is here as well. There is a lot of rivalry against you in, July. Okay. Eighth house sometimes brings up that hidden enemy energy. So I feel like even at work or financially, you can see that people are competing with you. Now, these people don't stand a chance. I do see you being a victor here, but you may find that even at work, coworkers are rivaling against you much harder. They could be becoming more secretive about their next moves or what they're applying to, what promotion they're trying to get, secretive about their projects. It could rub you the wrong way, but kind of look at it in a way that you're doing something that kind of makes them feel inferior. So keep going, okay? They don't stand a chance, but you may see that people start to turn their back because they see you as a threat because you're doing so well in July. And the same thing could go for family or friends, people around you, even neighbors, okay, could be a little weird or acting a little funny because people see you as a threat because you could be achieving things that they really want for themselves. That's something that you're going to be very aware of. This is something also that you may have not picked up on certain nuances in the past, and now you're seeing things very clearly, okay? Ten of Swords is here. Something is ending for you that was never for you in the first place. I feel like you had a hard time letting this go because you were very confused about the situation. You didn't understand why something wasn't working, or you didn't understand why something wasn't compatible. You're getting the full picture this month of July, and with that clarity, you're going to be able to move on very easily. Usually, the Ten of Swords can feel very devastating. It can put people in a very low emotional state. But I feel like for you, because you know what you know now, you're going to be able to walk away with your head held high, and you're not going to feel any type of way, and you're not going to be depressed. You're not going to have any negative effects about this. Maybe on the other side, there could be some negative effects, but for you, knowing what you know today or in July, you're going to feel really good that you did not settle and that you chose to cut ties. Tell me about this Ten of Swords. All right, Four of Wands. It could be with a home situation. So again, maybe some of you guys are moving and going to be ending some type of contract and moving to another community and starting a new contract. So, maybe you really were trying to revisit some type of lease and you didn't understand why they were making it so difficult. You may find out some shady dealings or some secrets within the community that really make you feel better about walking away. This also could be a relationship for some of you guys, like a long-standing relationship. You may have felt like we're stronger than this. We have a strong foundation, but there could be some secrets coming about that make you feel like, you know what, this is not meant for me. This does not follow the theme of the life that I'm wanting to create. And you're going to feel good about walking away from this connection, this home situation. All right. There also may be, you may also find out that you're not invited to some type of event. Maybe someone tried to keep this a secret from you. It will be revealed to you in some way, and you won't feel bad about feeling like something was off. You know, this could be a friend group. You started to feel like something was off. You started to feel like maybe they're jealous, but then you gave them the benefit of doubt. Once you see some type of shady dealing involving someone's home or event, maybe that you were disregarded from, you're going to feel really good about moving forward and moving upward, okay? I see you easily moving forward from this, so don't feel bad about that message coming out. Last card for pile number 1. Yeah, 2 of Swords. You were very indecisive to walk away from something. Something fell off for a long time for you, but you could not pinpoint why it fell off. You could have also started to feel like, is it just me? Am I the one that's off? But you're going to get the message that you need. It's going to come through for you in July. And this is going to allow you to finally cut the cord or to make your final decision to walk away from this. It was going downhill. Okay. So it's almost like Spirit is bringing you the clarity that you need to be able to move forward and have a fresh start and a fresh mindset. All right. Nonetheless, be very excited about July, no matter the weird messages that could have came out, because this is a really exciting month for you, and you have something that's growing in abundance. And that also is why a lot of people are kind of giving you the side eye, because they almost want to, they wish that they could be in your position. All right. So hold that honor, that respect that people do have, even if they're acting shady, and move forward with your life. You have much better possibilities, opportunities, connections, and situations up ahead for you. And I also see that not only will July be a really great month for you, you have October to look forward to as well. All right, pile number 1, I want to end off your reading giving you a message from your spirit guides. All right, so let me go ahead and show you the card that came out. Let me find the passage for it first. Give me a second. All right, what is this one? All right, you guys got the 3 of Michael. Oh my God, look at it. It's just like a little frayed on the side. Okay, whatever. 3 of Michael, all right? And this card says, release the past. You will grow from this situation. Time heals all wounds, okay? So that does go hand in hand with your message from pile number 1. It says, you will grow from this situation. When challenging events occur, it's important to take time to heal. You do not have to do it alone. Ask your angels, guides, or human friends for assistance. Forgive everyone involved, including yourself, for actions or choices you may see as having been unkind or in error. Time truly does heal all wounds. Ask your angels and guides to help you see the reason for the situation in your life. A new perspective could allow you to view things in a different light. Know that you'll become a stronger person over time because of this challenge. And additional meanings of this card: time to release the past, disharmony, and heart conditions. Okay, so something definitely could be feeling like heartbreak, but you'll be better knowing what you know versus staying stuck in a situation that's a dead end. And that's your message, okay? Well, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Happy July again, and I'll speak to you soon. Hi, pile number 2. You guys picked the pool floaty. All right. And also, your first message here is Leo, the lover. So you're embodying the energy of Leo this month of July. What this means for you is that you could be way more expressive than you have been this year. Maybe you've been taking time to yourself. Maybe you've been in hermit mode, more quiet. You haven't really been putting yourself out there, speaking up, posting online. And there's going to be a sudden burst of that sun energy of Leo that's going to make you way more expressive, way more confident, really great self-esteem. And you also could be exploring your creative passions during this time. There's an energy of you feeling more loving, maybe even towards the people in your life that have been there for you, but also towards yourself. So a lot of self-love. You could be more playful because Leo is the energy of the sun and the child. So there could be a very playful spirit about you. You could be laughing more, smiling more, having more fun. Okay, so I really like that because July should be a very fun month for you. You'll be feeling more warm and also more extroverted. Okay, so just coming out of your shell more, feeling more to yourself, remembering who you are, which is very nice. There's an energy of you being very flirtatious as well. So you could find that you are really pushing out your charm, your natural charm that has been sitting within you this whole time. You'll be glowing and bedazzling to a lot of people. A lot of people could have their eye on you. You'll definitely be in the spotlight this month of July. You also will feel a vitality for life. So you could find that you're waking up more early, you're feeling well rested, you feel like you have energy to go about your day, to get your goals done, get your tasks done, your routine. You're no longer feeling sluggish. You may not need that cup of coffee in the morning anymore. Something just feels like you're having a fresh start and very vibrant and a lot of energy. All right. You could be more into your ego and showing off a little bit more of your pride, especially, I don't know, there could have been a situation in the past that rubbed you the wrong way and could have did a big number on your confidence. And so I just see this energy of you remembering who you are, and you're not allowing anyone to make you feel small, and you're going to express yourself very proudly, okay? There's an energy also of you trusting more, okay? So that also could help with putting yourself out there, because sometimes when we are introverted or in hermit, it's because we don't trust people, or we feel like we don't trust situations, we don't trust life to go well, right? But I do feel like you're going to be more optimistic, more positive, more trusting, which allows you to express yourself even more openly. All right. And also, too, there's this energy of excess. Okay. So you could be doing things in excess. If you stop doing your makeup, you may do your makeup way more than you have in the past. If you stop doing your hair, you may really put yourself out there and get your hair done or keep your hair up. You could be going through your closet and pulling out your best outfits, okay? You're standing very proudly. You're not afraid to shine. And I think that's very powerful for you, because I get this energy that you have not done that in a long time. So you're stepping out into the world and you're showing people, like, here, I'm here. The queen or the king is here. All right. So you have Leo energy. Let's talk about your tea leaf. All right, we have well here. So this talks about family wishes coming true. Something about you, maybe creating a family, could be coming true. Something within your family that maybe, there's been like this generational energy that has been keeping your family down. There's some type of family wish that's coming true, something that's coming into fruition, a manifestation that your whole family has had their sights on. Okay, so that's really exciting. You could be spending a lot of time with your family. There could be a lot of positive family moments this month of July. We have bridge here. It says successfully overcoming a problem. If a problem has been weighing heavily on you, I do feel like you're going to have some type of completion of that problem. And not only that, you're completing it in a very positive way with a positive outcome versus, something falling through or not working out in your favor. So that's going to be very exciting for you in July. We also have ink pot here. What does that say? Problems to be resolved. Okay, so again, there's a very optimistic attitude and mindset that kind of like your mindset makes your reality. Okay, so because you're feeling more positive, more happy, you could see that things start going in your favor during this time, and it's really allowing you to have a lot of positive outcomes, which is nice. Last but not least, we have bear here. It says danger, especially in money matters. Okay, now that Leo energy does bring excessive behavior. Okay, so this could be spending a lot. So you definitely want to make sure that you're budgeting, that you're saving. You want to try to push yourself to be in this minimalist attitude, because with that Leo, it could be very maximalist. So definitely pay attention to your money and make sure that you're not overspending, because there is a warning here with that. Bear energy as well is an energy of protection. So make sure that you're protecting your finances at this time. This also could be with your family as well. If you have a family member that you're close to and you see that they're dipping into their pockets, maybe being too generous with that Leo energy, maybe remind them that it's okay to kind of hold on to it. They don't have to overexpend themselves, or this could be you. Bear energy also is an energy of like a boss and a CEO. So definitely run your finances like a boss or CEO. Know when to cut back or cut something off. Know when to review your finances. Have that type of energy. Protect your finances during this month because you're going to be in a really good mood. That could make you want to spend a little bit more. But if you do that, by the end of July, you may regret some of those things. Okay, so definitely pay attention to your finances in July. All right, let's see what else we have here for you. All right, we have Moose. This talks about you becoming more imposing or powerful in your energy. You definitely are a true independent. Okay, so definitely a leader and not a follower, which is good. You could be wanting to spend some time alone, but again, with that Leo energy, you will be the center of attention, the main character. So you may find that it's kind of a struggle for you to have that time alone that you're used to. It could also be pushing you out of your shell. All right, it tells you that your attitude is everything. So, keeping a very positive, optimistic mindset really does create your positive reality. It also says that you'll be feeling very cool, calm, and collected in this month of July. You'll feel very confident and you'll be in solidarity with yourself. Okay, so definitely not feeling insecure, which I really like for you. That's a blessing. We have whip. Oh, Lord, not the whip. All right, whip is forced action. You may feel like the universe is forcing your hand at something this month. And we're going to talk about that based off of the tarot cards that came out for you. I don't know what they say yet. Something is telling you to get things cracking, okay? There's an energy of like, being snapped or having to really push yourself or being forced your hand to do something. You could feel very driven or needing to do things really fast, more impulsively. Now, also, whip can talk about painful or harsh lessons. So there could be something surrounding your finances that you don't want to learn the hard way. So just be very careful with your impulsive energy, especially regarding your money. Also, there could be a joint family lesson that was learned that could have been really harsh, but because everybody collectively in your family actually accepted this lesson, you guys are able to close out that chapter and move forward and also reap some type of reward or joint blessing. So that's really nice. There could be an energy of fighting, arguments, or anger, or someone being harsh. So look out for that. You definitely want to steer clear from that. All right, there's something also about doing something again, getting up and trying again. Something that could have failed that taught you a harsh lesson, you're being prompted to start it again because now you have the wisdom and experience to not repeat the harsh lesson. And this time it actually is going to come true for you. And this card also, maybe you're meeting someone from pile number one, okay? Because you have kinky sex. You have kinky sex here. So pile number one had this energy of eighth house, which is like intense sexual connections. You could be meeting someone from pile number one. Maybe you want to watch pile number one to see who could be coming towards you. But yeah, kinky sex. Okay. So whatever. Okay. That could be putting you in a good mood. I don't know. Last but not least, we have teacup here. Teacup is a card of containing one's emotions. With that Leo energy, you think about the sun, but you also think about strength card, which is you becoming more confident, more brave. But it also is a card of self-control, discipline, emotional regulation. So something this month could be prompting you, especially with the arguments, the anger, the harshness, to not react, to not retaliate, to have self-control, to be a leader in a situation, okay? There's energy of you finding a lot of comfort around you. Your environment could be very comfortable. You could be feeling very comfortable within your own body, your skin, being more confident. There's energy of calming yourself down or maybe even having to calm other people down who may be doing too much. You could be getting into culture a lot, your own culture, or really getting into other people's cultures. This could be through travel, food. This could be through festivals, events. Something very cultural could be happening for you, which could be very exciting. Definitely traditions is really big for you, especially with the family. There's a lot of warmth coming towards you with that Leo energy. You could be getting into a really good ritual that keeps you very grounded and makes you feel safe, which is really nice. You definitely want a lot of you time, but again, I just get this energy of you being main character. It's going to be really hard for you to have your me time, you time, okay? There's a lot of social connection coming towards you. You could be the life of the party, a social butterfly, or that could be being asked of you as you are being the main character. There's something about hospitality, especially with family. You could be hosting family this month, or you could be going, to some type of event where someone will be hosting you. And that may be very comfortable. You may like how someone's treating you in that manner, or you're creating this comfortable environment for other people. And also, this will be a month of a lot of reflection for you as well, okay? Let's get into your tarot and see what came out for you. All right, we have the Knight of Cups. We have the Three of Swords, and we also have the Fool. Okay, so something very interesting that I feel for you for July. There could be someone who rejected you in the past, and maybe this person did a number on your confidence. And I see that this person could be wanting to pursue you in the month of July. I see that you're going to be able to get your get back, or you're going to reject this person. Especially with the Fool, it shows that you're taking a new direction. With the Fool, when it comes to dating or even friendships, you're just changing so much in your identity that you like different things. Your type could be changing. The type of people that you like to be around could be changing. The environments that you like to frequent could be changing. Your hobbies, your interests, your likes and dislikes could be changing. There's someone here who's going to be pursuing you, but I almost feel like this person, they missed out on some type of opportunity that you were offering in the past. And there could be this Three of Swords moment where you remember how that hurt you, and you also, in return, give them the same energy. And that could be hurtful for this person. So there's almost like a tables is turning type of moment here. Okay. Let's talk about the Knight of Cups. Tell me about that Knight of Cups for pile number 2. It's like you have your sights set on something different. If you're single, you definitely could be crushing on someone new. And this person who's coming towards you is an old crush, like old news. That's yesterday's lunch. I'm not interested in that anymore, okay? Tell me about the Knight of Cups. This could also be a friend. Maybe there's a friend that you were trying to get close to. You could have felt rejected or overlooked or undervalued by them. And now you're like the main character. So now they are like hitting you up, inviting you out, and you just kind of are on to the next big thing, okay? Like they missed that opportunity with you. Tell me about the Knight of Cups here. You definitely have some new energies coming towards you romantically or even in friendship. Yeah, you have the Chariot here. Chariot's all about moving on, okay? So you have moved on from a situation that you were interested in the past, but today's a new day type of energy, okay? So yeah, Chariot. Some of the people who are coming towards you that want to be around you, want to get to know you more, or even pursue you romantically, are very career-driven type of energies, very successful in their career. All right, so look out for that. There's people who are very motivated and determined. Their career could be big success for them, or something that they have gained a lot of respect or status from their achievements. So that could be also who's coming towards you or pursuing you. There's someone here who's really into cars who could also be pursuing you this month of July. Look out for a Cancer as well. All right, tell me about the Knight of Cups. Yeah, all right. Again, we have the Hangman here. There's someone here who missed out on an opportunity with you. Now you are glowing or bedazzling in this person's mind. You know, they can't stop thinking about you. But in the past, they chose not to move forward with you. They could have rejected this. They could have self-sabotaged. And I see that this person cannot get over you in July. They really want to come towards you, but you may be giving them the cold shoulder, especially with the Chariot. You're moving onward and upward. You're moving to bigger and better things. Your type is changing. You're interested in new energies, new people, new environments. This is like old news for you, and you have finally moved on from it, okay? So it feels like someone here is wanting to pursue you, but they feel very stuck, like they can't get forward movement with you during this time because they missed out on that situation. What's the Three of Swords? Could have been someone who was in a third party, okay? Like this person could have been clearly focused on one person. Maybe you didn't really know that. You didn't have all that information. Otherwise, you possibly wouldn't be pursuing them. And they just kind of dubbed you in the past. Now they're stuck on you. I guess that didn't work out and you're moved on. And you also have very high achieving energies coming towards you, whether that's new friends or even a new love coming towards you. Now, Three of Swords, we have unique bond here, okay? So this could have been someone that had like a little bit of an age difference. This could be someone who was so different from you. Maybe you guys had different backgrounds, different races. Um, there's also an energy too of sexuality. Someone could be sexually fluid. Maybe you didn't know about that. I don't know. But it feels like there's no forward movement with this person, okay? Like you're moving on to bigger and better. This person's definitely stuck on you though. They see your uniqueness now. They see how special you are now, but they weren't getting that in the past and they missed out, okay? So that's what I'm seeing here. We have the 10 of Cups here. Definitely some arguments happening with your family this month. You could be a leader in kind of like taming the crazy. Okay, there could be some harsh arguments. There could be past disappointments that are brought to surface that there's going to be a harsh conversation about. Someone could be very blunt about how their feelings were hurt or how they have trauma within the family. It could be a little bit much. I do see that you and your family will be able to overcome this. I also see you being the mediator in the situation. So that could be interesting as well. All right. There could be a big argument about who someone married and if that person brought a lot of trauma or drama to the family. If that was a disgrace to the family, if that brought embarrassment to the family. All right. There could be something regarding some type of marriage or relationship. And there could be a lot of pain from that, but it will be resolved in July. There could be some very, ground shaking conversations about it. I do see you being a mediator in this sense. You could feel just as strongly as the person who is hurt, but you have this emotional maturity where you're able to translate your pain in a way that you're not maybe going to fight to the death. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing here. There's a leader energy that you have of emotional regulation that's going to be helping your family overcome some type of obstacle or even a lesson. There's a lesson to be learned here. It will be resolved in July. Okay. Everybody will be able to move forward, feeling like they were heard and respected and apologies will be made. I am seeing that. Your family is going from a transition of maybe being kind of broken or dispelled to coming back together, which is really good. Last card we have here is the Fool. Definitely getting into some new things here, new hobbies, new music, new foods, new environments, okay? New people. All right, your identity could be changing a lot. You're coming out of your shell at the right time. If you have spent most of this year very reserved, it could have been because you did not feel safe, okay? And as you are coming back out of your shell or you're coming into your confident era, you're going to feel very safe with the type of energies and people and environments that you're going to be around. So it's at the right timing. If you've struggled with your confidence, you may see that, that burden is suddenly lifted because the universe feels like you're in the right environments, people, places, and things that make you feel totally safe and confident to be yourself and to explore. Tell me about the Fool. New chapter happening for you in July, which is nice. If you're tired of the old chapter. All right, tell me about the Fool here. Yeah, okay, 5 of Cups. If you were really stuck on your past, you won't be stuck on the past anymore. And I feel like the first, what is it called, indicator about this is going to be this person from your past that you were pursuing coming back and you rejecting them. That's going to show you like, wait a minute, I'm not as hung up on the past as I used to be. I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm moving forward. I'm seeing how that wasn't for me and I'm ready for what's next. Okay, so 5 of Cups, coming out of the 5 of Cups, feeling very comfortable in your skin, feeling very comfortable in your place of where you are and wanting more and knowing that you can have more. Last card for pile number 2. Ooh, pile number 2, you are so popular, okay? This month will show you just how you are the main character in a lot of people's lives. There's something so vibrant about you and so special about you. You will be put on a pedestal. If you start to post more this month of July, you will be getting a lot of likes and comments. People definitely will be tuning into your frequency. You're getting a lot of recognition and reward. I see that you're super confident. You're inspiring a lot of people here. You're going to feel on the top of your game. And it's happening just as you're entering a new era. Okay. So this new chapter will be full of confidence, playfulness, innocence. The Fool is about innocence, where it feels like my past is not making me scared to move forward. And that's a good thing. You're releasing that burden. All right. So I really, really like your pile. I feel like you're coming out on top. All right. 6 of Wands. Really nice. All right, pile number 2. I want to leave you with a message from your spirit guides about your month of July. So you guys got the 10 of Ariel. All right. And this card says, there is so very much to be grateful for: financial success and the promise of retirement, a rich and rewarding family life. All right. So let me read that to you. Now you have it all. There is so very much to be grateful for. You've been financially successful and no longer worry about money. There is a richness to living, and it's all because of how diligently you've worked to get where you are. Your family life has become one of the greatest blessings in your life. You may define family as your birth family, or perhaps you have a chosen family with bonds that are just as strong or stronger. There is great love and support around you. You understand what really matters, and from that knowledge comes peace. Additional meanings of this card: happily ever after, community, family trees, and long-term investments. All right, guys, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys very soon in the next one. Hi, pile number 3. All right, you guys felt called to pick the funnel cake. All right, so this is your reading for your month of July and what to expect. The card that you guys are getting right off the bat is Sagittarius, the Voyager. All right, so you'll be embodying the energy of Sagittarius in the month of July. You could feel very enthusiastic about life, about yourself, about your plans, your goals. Okay, you have this thrill for life. Again, you could be feeling very optimistic. You could be very philosophical at this time. There could be an energy of teacher energy. So, any wisdom or experiences that you have up until July, you may be translating that to people who may be in need, who could feel lost. You could be giving guidance, kind of like guru energy. You also could be teaching things that you are well informed in, or that you're talented or naturally skilled at. All right, so you could be teaching this to your family, to your friends, to your children. You could be teaching this to maybe your coworkers. This could be at work. Could be prompted to maybe lead some type of project or speech. You could be teaching online. Maybe you're giving wisdom online and it's getting a lot of feedback. Okay, so there's that. You also have this energy of being very independent this month and very generous. You could also be seeking things. So there could be new interests that could be piquing your interest that you'll do some type of deep dive on, or research, or just getting more knowledge about, getting more wisdom. You could be reading a lot in the month of July. You could be having a very happy and go lucky attitude. You could feel more adventurous and ready to, bring some more adventure and excitement into your life, okay? Seeking new things, new hobbies, new interests, new areas, environments, maybe even travel could be coming up for you, or you could be planning a trip. You definitely have an honest attitude, okay? So you could see that people really respect your honesty. Sagittarius has this energy of like blunt honesty. So wherever honesty needs to come into, you could just be giving that naturally, and it could be helping or teaching someone. Okay, someone could feel like you're a little bit blunt with the way that you're relaying your message, but it could really be helping them at this time. All right, also, you could be experimenting with a lot of things. You could be experimenting in your dating life. You could be experimenting with new foods, new colors, new hairstyles, new fashions, new styles. Okay, you could be renovating. You could be changing up your room, or maybe your living room, your kitchen. So you definitely are experimenting with new things, trying to figure out, do I have new likes or interests? Also, there's an energy of you taking more risk. Okay, so having almost like that fool energy. taking a leap of faith, taking a risk. If there is something that's been weighing heavy on your mind for months and you just been kind of too scared to step out there and try it, I feel like July is the month to do that. And you could see that it was meant for you all along. So you could be stepping into a new industry, a new career. Maybe you're going to be meeting a new type of friend group or connections. Maybe you are feeling more inclined to network this month, and you will have a very positive outcome with that. All right, there's a very self righteous or maybe like a tactless energy that you may have, like just unapologetically being yourself, unapologetically saying what you need to say. Some people may listen to you and be like shocked by what you say, but again, I feel like there's a message that needs to be conveyed and no one else better to do it than you. All right, so definitely watch your tongue or don't watch it, because I feel like whatever you're saying or doing, it needs to be done. And you could be the one who's streamlining this for a lot of people, helping people to stop being a shell of themselves or playing small. All right, so you have Sagittarius. You also have here the clouds. All right, so there could be a lot of thoughts that could be going through your mind in July, something that you could be worried about. It's almost like you're worrying a lot about your future, but there's nothing to worry about. You know, this is a time for you to explore. There's questions that you have that you feel like you can't solve, but the only way for you to solve those questions is to take action, make an effort. And that's the way that you're going to come to your resolution, okay? So if something is weighing really heavily on your mind and you feel like you don't have the guidance, with you being in that Sagittarius energy, you are the teacher. You're the one meant to go out there and experience it for others, for the collective. So it's almost like no one's going to come and save you. No one's going to come and give you a handout, because you are that person and it requires you to take a risk. Okay. So with that cloud energy, if you have a problem, if you have a little bit of doubt, definitely just take action. You know, have the attitude of like, what's the worst that could happen? Get that experience so that you can come to the answer, the solution that you're looking for. You could be a little hesitant, right? But I do see that you're going to break out of your shell and actually go for it. Something is beyond view of what you're able to make sense of right now. And that's why it requires you to take a leap of faith. Anything that you're confused about, unclear about, if you have any indecision or something that feels like a misunderstanding for you, it's time for you to take action. All right, so that's the clouds. You have Maverick here, which makes sense coming from the clouds, because it talks about you being a rule breaker and doing things unconventional and stepping outside of the line, you know, coloring outside of the lines. There's something meant for you to forge ahead and do independently. You know, you are the leader here or the teacher, you're the philosopher. You're meant to go take on something by yourself. You may find that you're wanting to do something and maybe you feel more safe with other people doing it with you, but you're meant to be the first one to do it. You're meant to break this cycle or this pattern, okay? You will be more bold in July, or a little bit of a rebel or a nonconformist, and that's okay, because I feel like you're going to be able to do something that many people fear to do, which is really cool. You will be fearless. You'll be thinking outside the box, like we just talked about. There's an energy of you being a little defiant or going against the grain. One thing I know about Sagittarius is they are great debaters because of their wisdom and their experience. So when it comes to certain topics, they could be the one who's kind of going against the main side and being that rebel, okay? And there's something about you being more defiant in July and doing that, and maybe having a very beautiful breakthrough by doing that, by questioning the system. All right, you could be a little bit of a loose cannon, especially with your mouth. So again, watch yourself a little bit, but definitely being a risk taker in the month of July. Your last card here is the stork. All right, the stork brings new beginnings. So there is a new era happening for you, and it is starting in July. You could be going through a transformation, coming out of who you used to be and becoming someone way more unconventional. There's a lot of changes that could be happening for you in July. There could be an energy of becoming more active, or certain things in your life that were kind of stagnant and you were becoming restless about could start to move forward with your actions. There's energy of things arriving for you and also departing for you. So people could be entering your life in July. Some people may be leaving. Things could be coming towards you, and, you know, certain things have to leave or be sacrificed to make room for the new shit. So don't be afraid of that. I feel like whatever's coming in for you is what you've been asking for, what you've been manifesting. It takes space. You have to create some space for the new things, okay? You could be moving as well, or you could be planning a big, significant move in July. So if you're not moving in July, you could be moving maybe within the next 2 months after July. You could be renovating, okay? So again, we talked about how maybe you're going to be changing things up in your home. You could be renovating something here. You could be rebranding yourself, rebranding maybe your career in some way. Also, Stork does talk about pregnancy, so that's something to be aware of in the month of July. If that's something that you're wanting to work towards, that could be happening for you. If that's something that you're not so sure about, definitely take the precautions that are needed. All right, there also could be an energy of birthing something new, having a new beginning, something very exciting that you finally took action on and that you didn't sit on, something that felt very restless for you. There's also energy of you becoming more slender, okay? So I don't know. Maybe you're losing weight. Maybe you're going to be in the gym and becoming more active. All right. So there's energy of you being very slender. Even like your jaw. I'm seeing someone like with like strong jaw. But it could be because maybe your cheeks are getting smaller or you're just having more of a definition here, but definitely more slender in frame. You also could be wearing things that make you taller. So for masculines, that could be like the boots that kind of have like, a little bit of height, make you a little bit more taller. And women, you could be wearing more heels or wedges or platforms this month of July. Okay. All right, let's get into your tarot and see what came out for you. Oh, I forgot to do your tea leaf. Sorry. All right, we have yoke here. Yoke. All right. Yoke says you could have been feeling tied down or frustrated. You're going to break through whatever limits that you feel like have been placed on you or you placed on yourself. If you've been feeling tied down and stagnant, you're going to break through. You're finally going to do something that you were afraid to do. There's this energy of being very bold and confident in your actions this month that are going to change the narrative for you, okay? We have Tortoise. All right, Tortoise talks about slowly but surely getting ahead. You may not see the exact progress that you want in July, but it doesn't mean that things are not shifting for you in the background. This is an incredible month of you transforming. So try not to get frustrated with maybe having to be patient. Try not to get frustrated if you're having slow progress. Slow progress means that your results are guaranteed and they also have sustainability and longevity rather than something that comes quickly and leaves your life just as quickly. So if there's certain goals that you're trying to materialize that are taking its sweet time and maybe July is not the end goal for you, that's okay because whatever you are building at this time, whatever you broke free from and took action towards will have longevity and will sustain you for a long time to come. All right. So you're working towards something very incredible, a really big blessing, but it just takes a little bit more time. All right. We have fair man here. This says dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. Okay. Maybe even blue eyes. Maybe a light skinned man or a man of white skin. Okay, so fair man. So look out for that. There could be someone significant this month that is a fair man coming towards you. And last but not least, we have unicorn. And that is definitely confirmation because I always call Sagittarius's the unicorn. This one says use your intuition to make beneficial changes, especially with that energy of breaking free from your own self doubt and fear. Sometimes you cannot really just rely solely on logic and strategy to make things happen. Sometimes you got to follow your dreams, your intuition, or even your emotions in a situation. I feel like your intuition is increasing. You could also have some very significant psychic abilities that are increasing this month. But something is really pulling you to follow your intuition, something that just has not left your mind that scares you. I feel like you're finally going to take that leap of faith and make a bold action towards it. Okay, so that's the unicorn. Now let's get into your tarot and see what came out for you. All right, we have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Two of Wands. And we have the Queen of Swords. Okay. Definitely, I do see that you are frustrated with your circumstances, especially with that Queen of Swords. Something is leaving a bad taste in your mouth. You could start to feel like you're becoming a little bitter towards your circumstances. You want more for yourself. That's the Two of Wands. You are looking where the grass could be greener. You're getting inspired by situations, people, environments that you feel like is where you want to be, and you could be getting a little frustrated or restless with your current situation. And that's okay, because that is kind of riling you up to make the actions to get it, okay? Especially with that Knight of Pentacles, you could be very frustrated with how something is very slow moving in your life, but it's requiring right now your dedication, okay? So Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race, making progress that's going to stick, but it's just a little bit slower than what you feel like everyone else may be going through. With that Knight of Pentacles, I know that there's a guarantee for you at the end of the road. Some people take leaps of faith and it doesn't really end well for them, and it just becomes another lesson. It becomes another experience. For you, you're getting, the lesson of trying again. You're going to get the experience and wisdom, and you'll also have what you've been setting your eyes on. It's just going to take some time, okay? It's like divine timing is at work. So July is not going to be the month where you reap your rewards, you're able to pick your fruit, but it is happening soon enough. It will happen this year, and it's something that you're going to be able to maintain, if not forever, for years to come. All right, let's clarify that Knight of Pentacles and see what you're currently working on that is really kind of slow moving, but I see that you're very dedicated. One thing that I really like about you, pile number 3, is that you're not going to give up. Knight of Pentacles is someone who's very reliable and dependable for themselves, first and foremost. So when it comes to this goal, you really have this fighting spirit of just not giving up, no matter how long it takes. And it's going to lead you to a very prosperous life. It's going to lead you to a lot of comfortability. You're going to really enjoy your life soon enough. You're going to be fulfilled. It's just taking some time, okay? Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles here. I also get this energy that you're kind of 10 steps ahead of everyone else, because whatever you're trying to manifest, there's a lot of people around you who are too afraid to try. They're too afraid to try something different, to step into the unknown. You're breaking free and doing that this month of July, which is going to put you ahead of everyone else. And there's going to be this moment of reflection when you get what you want, where you've seen, I was doing the work behind the scenes this whole time. No one was rooting for me. No one was cheering me on. And then once I finally get it, there's going to be a lot of people who just wish that they would have started when you started, okay? So that's also going to be something that gives you a lot of reward. You could feel a little bit bored, or like life is mundane. I also feel like the universe is purposely slowing down your life so that you're not becoming distracted. Maybe you're someone with that Sagittarius energy that you could bounce from one thing to the other. You get almost like shiny object syndrome, especially with the Two of Wands. So life could be a little bit more slow moving right now to help you to stay focused, because maybe you're someone who needs that, okay? Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles. Let me mute that, okay? Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles for pile number 3. All right, we have what is this? This is the Knight of Wands, okay? So I do see this energy of your confidence that wavers as you are chasing this dream. Like there's some days where you're feeling so determined and so excitable, and you're feeling very like proud and confident. And there's some days where you're just feeling like nothing has happened with all the effort that I'm putting out there, okay? You also may get this restless energy of wanting to do some very impulsive things this month. I really want to warn you to be careful to not do anything that's going to set you back, okay? So always, if you're feeling like some type of excitable idea comes up and you're like, oh, I want to go do that because that will bring me some short-lived excitement, that will give me some instant gratification, think about how that will affect the long goal that you have, okay? If it's going to affect it in a really negative way, you have to tell yourself no, all right? You have to tell yourself no here. Let's see what else is here. I also see your money increasing. There's a small increase in your finances. Again, I don't see you getting super excited and wanting to do backflips. It's not like a windfall, but it also is a reminder that you're on the right track. And if you keep at it, it will continue to multiply and multiply and multiply. All right. So try to also have gratitude when that happens, even if it's not what you were expecting and you wanted more, it's still an increase at the end of the day. Let's see what else is here. All right, we have the Page of Pentacles. There's this energy with you that you're really like selling yourself short a little bit. You may feel because of not seeing the progress that you would like to see that you're like at the beginning of some type of manifestation. You're not at the beginning. You're getting ahead and you're almost to the finish line. Okay, let me show you. Sun. You're almost to the finish line, but you're almost like underestimating your efforts or your progress, especially with the Page of Pentacles. I see that you're the Knight of Pentacles, but you're looking at yourself as like a beginner, a novice. I'm just at the beginning, nothing has really sprouted for me. I'm only getting like little benefits here and there. You're so much more farther than what you think. You're kind of equating, the excitement that you're looking for, the big rewards that you're looking for how far along you are. You are so close, right? But there's this energy of like dumbing down your efforts or dumbing down how far you've come. So this is a time in July for you to reflect and actually, put the pieces together. This is where I was at in the beginning of the year. This is where I was, in 2025. This is where I'm at now. Let me give myself a pat on the back, okay? Maybe it's time for you to review your progress so that you're not feeling so small. All right, tell me about the Two of Wands. There's something that you really want and you're really setting your intentions with the universe. The universe cannot miss your intentions because you're being very intentional about everything that you're doing here. You could be rewriting your identity in some way. You could be changing up your habits. You're really trying to show the universe, I am aligning with what I'm asking for. Please give it to me, okay? So Two of Wands is here. And that's another thing that you can do to see how far along you've come. How much has your identity changed? Does your identity start to match up with that manifestation that you have? And if the answer is yes, you're doing really good and you've been able to maintain it. All right. Sometimes people put on a mask of who they want to be versus really doing the effort and the sacrifice to get there. All right. We have the Tower here. And what else? And we have the Nine of Swords. What is this Tower? Tell me about the Tower. Oh, okay. There's some type of groundbreaking transformation that is very like exciting for you in July. This could be a realization or a breakthrough that you feel towards mid-July where you realize I am not the same person I used to be and this has to mean something, okay? It really helps you to get out of your head because I'm seeing a lot of overthinking with the Nine of Swords. I see a lot of restless nights. I see that your thoughts could go really crazy at night where you're having a hard time sleeping. You're going to have some type of breakthrough, some type of reality check, a positive one where the universe shows that you are the fool, like you're so new, your identity has changed so much. That has to mean something that you're getting super close to your manifestation. Again, I just see that you're not giving yourself enough credit. And, the universe is going to put it in your face where you could clearly see the big change. It's almost like, how people go through their transformation journey with their body. And, I think like sometimes in the workout culture, a lot of people could have like body dysmorphia. But it's not until they start taking their progress photos where they start to see, wow, I really transformed so much. So when you put that before and that after up, it's like, why was I being so hard on myself? Look how I look. Such a difference. It's such a night and day contrast from where I've been. So there's something about tracking that you need to start doing. If you haven't been doing that from the beginning of the year, definitely in July, you want to have some type of notebook or maybe in the notes app of your phone. Start to map out your progress. Map out your progress with your finances if you have a financial goal. If it's body transformation, start taking those before and after pictures. If it has something to do with maybe just having more adventure in your life, start to write down all of the cool things that you got into and that you kind of focused on each month. As you're able to see your progress on paper, or in front of your face, you start to kind of feel more trusting of this process and you're not being so discrediting to yourself, okay? So there is some type of big shock to you where you're going to look and you're going to be like, what the hell? Like, I'm so different than what I was in the beginning. And it's really going to put things into perspective with you. It kind of gets you back into your game plan, all right? So you have the Queen of Swords here. Not happy with my circumstances, but I do have a strategy that I promised myself that I would follow. And let's see what's happening with that. I feel like you start to get way more determined to continue, to keep going. You start to see that your progress is going up here. All right. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. There's also something about unshakable confidence that you're going to have because you've done a lot of healing. So, maybe you had people who were just very ignorant around you, almost get this energy of like friends or family who would not acknowledge your transformation. And because you've seen whatever the universe is kind of putting in your face, there's something about having unshakable confidence of who you're becoming. Doesn't matter if your family doesn't, cheer you on. Doesn't matter if your friends are not cheering you on. You feel very confident where you're going by the end of July. And it's also because you've done some type of healing. So you could have been in therapy. Maybe you submitted yourself into some type of therapy. Maybe you've done some type of health regimen that kind of helped you out as well. This also could be diet and nutrition. This also could be a great amount of self-care that you've been doing that's really showing. You could be glowing because you have the star here. You're feeling rejuvenated. You're feeling healed in some type of area, especially when it comes to self-doubt, fears, or confidence. Okay, so by the end of July, you will be very self-assured, is what I'm seeing. You also have some type of fame or recognition that comes with this manifestation. So, whatever you're manifesting that you're really trying to break through onto the other side, and it may be taking a little bit of time, a part of that manifestation comes with going viral or having more fame or just having a great energy of recognition or even a status increase with the star. You have a huge blessing. Your blessing or your manifestation will make people like shocked. People will want your blueprint because the star also talks about being in a really hard place and getting a blessing that turns all that around. Okay, so people will be very shocked by the end of this. We also have temperance here, okay? I also see, again, temperance is Sagittarius energy. You have really good intentions for yourself. What you're manifesting doesn't hurt anyone, which is good. I know that doesn't need to be said, but sometimes people's wishes in life hurt people. So for you with the temperance, with that angel energy, I feel like this is also going to be given to you because you're meant to do good, or you have this energy of generosity, something that you'll be sharing with the world once you get this blessing. Whether you're going to be a rich person and you'll be doing a lot of philanthropic work, or if you are going to have a platform and you'll be helping people, or if you're going to become some type of teacher or guide or guru and you'll be helping people in that way. So there's something about your manifestation that the universe feels like it supports the collective. And that's another reason why they really want this to happen for you. But there's certain steps necessary for you to take to be able to get that, right? You have to step into that identity and you're ready on your way. Also, with temperance as well, you are learning patience and moderation. So by the time that you do get this blessing, you will be a very patient person, almost to the point where you are not caring about the timeline once it comes, okay? And yeah, doing things in moderation, you're learning to also not to do things in excess. So I don't know what you were doing in excess before. It could have been harmful to you or doing you a disservice. You're coming out of that by the end of July. All right, so you're in the planting stage, not putting the seed in the ground, but more so nurturing your garden. And soon enough, you will be able to bear your fruit, but this is just the process you have to go through. All right, pile number 3. I also want to leave you guys with a message from your spirit guides, your angels. So let me go ahead and get that message for you. And yeah, give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Let me pull it up. All right, so pile number 3, from your angels, from your spirit guides, you have the message of the 7 of Ariel. And this card says, you have invested wisely. Have patience and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. And that is confirmation. All right. That is whole confirmation of what your reading, what your message was trying to convey to you. This card says, your seeds are well planted. However, some plans do take time to develop. Now is not the moment to stop, as success is very probable. You may not see it clearly, but slow and steady progress is being made. Have patience, it's almost time. This is a good opportunity to pause and review how far you've come. Are things moving along as you'd planned? If not, what changes might you make in the future? If you're at the end of a project, don't linger too long finishing it up. The next success awaits your attention. Additional meanings of this card: a temporary pause, a welcome break in action, pondering future strategies, and determination. All right, pile number 3. That's what I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys very soon in your next one. All right, bye guys.